Hey guys, welcome back to Wilderness Springs. I've been wanting to jump in and show you update 8 and the Toybox pack, and now we are finally in here. And yeah, this snow, game changer. Now there are a couple tweaks they told us they were going to do. They said they're messing with making the snow actually lay on the paths a little bit thicker, but still, allowing us to see where the paths are. So stuff like that is going to be worked on. They're going to make some adjustments to the thunderstorms, but nonetheless, this just looks, it just gives the whole park an entirely different vibe. And particularly like where the springs freeze over, it's not just the pools, it is your ponds and your rivers and the lakes. They all freeze over as well when the snow hits. And just Grizzly Peak out here looking absolutely majestic. Actually, I'm kind of a little bit early in the morning. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there's a little bit better light. That's like right at lunchtime. These are some very cold riders, I would assume. But yeah, this is just, and see how it's cool. Since we did the Teji fake waterfall, it looks like the waterfall's still flowing. So that's really, really awesome. But everything else down here is pretty frozen up. And the way the snow lays on the different pieces and foliage looks killer. But they did say that there are some things they have to work out with that as well. There are, Chris told me from Frontier, there are a couple bushes like this that for some reason the snow is not wanting to accumulate on, but they said they're aware, they're working on it, and should have a patch out fairly quickly. So, maybe even before the weekend. But yeah, there's just a couple little bushes that don't want to give up, don't want to succumb to the snowstorm. But yeah, the snow is just that is the highlight of this whole thing for me, the update and the DLC. Get you a little bit of a thunderstorm in here. There are some things they said they need to work on with respect to the lightning. A lot of that is going to be messed with, and it'll be tweaked. My biggest thing is, like, as far as the snow goes, I would want I'd say it's tough because if the guests are in the park and they're in regular clothing, like this little group, and then all of a sudden you start making it snow on them, how easy is it for them to just pop over into snow clothes? And that's just kind of I think it's just one of those things where I don't know if it'll happen. I've seen a lot of you commenting like, man, why are they out there in shorts if it's snowing? And it's just like, it's not always snowing. Like, I could understand more if you started on a snow map or like a mountainous type of, Arctic, like a tundra map. But out here, I don't know how they go about it, because these guests out here, in the middle of summer or whatever, they wouldn't be bundled up in big heavy coats and jeans, and they would be out here in t-shirts and shorts. And like, what's the process? When it snows, does the game programming make them all want to go to changing rooms at the same time and get into winter gear? That just doesn't really make a lot of sense aesthetically, just watching them all crammed to changing rooms. So I don't know. I don't have a solution of that. Maybe Frontier will work on that. My biggest request to Frontier was when it does snow and I turn it off, I would like it to stay longer. So we'll watch right here. We'll just let it snow. I brought in my moon portrait studio from Hidden Hollow. I thought, yeah, because Mineral kind of hit a roadblock over here and didn't really have anything that he thought would be ready to go. So he said, go ahead and fill that in. So I brought in my moon portrait studio. We've got Coconuts, one of their facades right there. And then, of course, the wonderful Plastic Swans Looney Balloons with the Wilderness Springs selfie wall over here. So that is kind of what I'm working with right now to get rid of the quote what are you doing with the big giant green patch? But anyways, back to what we were saying, the snow just disappears so quickly. I don't really know what, like, even if we just make it clear. Okay, see the water's coming back. It's leaving the roof. Like, my point is, I would love for the snow to stick around a little longer if I just wanted to play around with it on the ground. Like, you know, and the way I explained it to Frontier is after the storm is over, the snow doesn't automatically just disappear. It doesn't evaporate immediately. So I was like, it would be kind of cool to have it stick around a little longer, you know, if you're making it snow. So that was just kind of like my little bit of nitpick with the snow. And if you want to look at this at night as well, I have started some Christmas lights out here. I think they look pretty cool. Wilderness's little entrance lit up. And of course, Wilderness Outfitters. Got some lights on it. Got the big tree from the festive pack. Got Wilderness Springs tree up. And then of course, a couple of the facades over here. I've started putting some Christmas lights on, like Moon's Portrait Studio and the Looney Balloons. But yeah, overall, super stoked with Update 8. How, you know, honestly, with the toy pack not being just 100% on my, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we have that now radar. I've not really, there was some, you know, I kind of went through the pieces just to see how useful stuff would be. Very niche. I don't really, I mean, you know, obviously there can always be a time where we go in and there are some of those pieces we use, like definitely the traffic lights and the cones, like the traffic cones, but not a whole lot in there I really see as being useful. But you know, it is just what it is. That's what I told people in the comments. Everybody's not going to love every pack. There's going to be packs that you love that people absolutely never touch, and there are going to be packs that you could never find a use for that people use in every one of their builds. So, you know, that's just how these creative sims go. You know, not every pack is going to hit it out of the park. And for me, the Toybox pack, cool. I'm happy for it. I'm glad you guys are finding different uses for it. I just don't see a lot of use out of it. I think it was, it kind of missed the mark a little bit as far as how the packs are usually really good about transcending a bunch of themes. For me, like I said, the highlight of this drop is Update 8 and the festive pieces. Those are just, you know, they're absolutely killer. What else can we talk about? Oh, over here with your Grizzly Peak Recreation Area and Quince River excursions, I was thinking, instead of maybe just doing a boring old raft ride, what if we were to try a water coaster? I was just thinking, like, how cool would it be if over here, if Quince was like a highly themed water coaster? Like, you know, you've got the 4-seater right there, but we have another kind too that I believe is just side by side, possibly. Yeah, is this Big M's? I was actually even kind of liking this little model better, but I was thinking, how cool would it be to do a Grizzly Peak themed in and out of the mountain, you know, behind waterfalls, have big drops coming off of this, but theme it after Quince River excursions. Like, you are in these boats, these coaster boats, and we're trying to tell a story with that, like give the park another coaster count instead of doing like a slower moving raft ride back there. I just think that we could really have something cool kind of over here in this little section. And then of course we've got to move out further on this way, but this whole little area right here could be dedicated to a water coaster. I think that could be extremely, extremely fun. Quince River excursion at the back of the Grizzly Peak recreation area. Could be another cool little coaster to kind of pull people back there. That would right now, even without bringing Timberwolf's Revenge back, that would leave the park, that would have the park at 3 coasters. And, you know, I was even thinking over here somewhere, I don't really want to remove the Hillbilly Golf. I think that looks really cool. But with that little vector child coaster, we might even be able to fit a little coaster in right there. I don't know. I love the golf so much. I was thinking even maybe Enchanted Forest could have like a small kid coaster over here somewhere, like maybe making your way back over this way. So there is so much potential we could do there, you know. And then of course, a lot of people usually once a week, once every couple of weeks, people are saying to make Grizzly Manor an actual dark ride. So we can always kind of be on the lookout for that as well. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to kind of jump in here and show you, give you my thoughts. Geekism has an awesome piece-by-piece video out right now of the actual Toybox pack pieces. Leaf does. Ruble Trillion started like a Christmas Main Street. There's just a bunch out. Wix did like an Imagination toy store. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff out there that will take you through those pieces a lot better than I can. But yeah, like this has motivated me to get back into Wilderness Springs and maybe start getting some work done again. But anyways, you guys have to let me know what you think about the pack. Have you messed with it yet? Have you got a chance to pick it up? And yeah, just let me know your thoughts. And anyways, I'll quit bugging you guys and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya. Stay warm.